Hello there, and welcome to my first documented playthrough of Hoi4. Today I chose to play Italy, as it's been my favorite nation to play so far. Um, the mods I currently have installed are La Resistance and No Step Back. This is the first game where I played with these mods, which is another reason why I chose Italy, because I didn't have to make those choices myself. Instead, it was the AI doing a random history alternative, which I thought would be fun to go see and see what happens, basically. Um, but yeah. To start off, I wanted to try and focus in incorporating Ethiopia into the nation, just to appease Mr. Mussolini, as well as some industry ones to get that going, because I do like having a strong industry, as it makes everything a lot easier. The Spanish Civil War kicking off, I sent some divisions over to try and aid them, as well as building Army XP to help build my future divisions out. Um, but yeah, try and help nationalists with this victory. Later on, actually, the anarchist Spain came through and took a majority of Spain's land, which really, really helped me out. Um, because it looked initially like we're losing at first, but with them coming in, it helped sway us to victory. But yeah, it's also nice to have another fascist nation near you to help influence other nations. Here, Germany goes to war with Czechoslovakia. However, the Czechs had formed an alliance with Yugoslavia, France, and Romania, so Germany, of course, went to war with all of them. Because Yugoslavia was in this alliance, my ultimatums that I had been sending through a focus had no effect, so I couldn't establish them as a puppet. However, they did give me some land, so that was very nice. I let Germany go on without my support for a while to give me time to get my armies in order, as well as some industry building. And during this time, as you probably saw, the Soviet Union had underwent a few civil wars, and out of it, Ukraine popped out. So that was funny. Um, but Germany, for some reason, couldn't finish the wars they were already fighting, and also eventually decided to declare on Greece as well. So that meant more fronts that I would need to aid in the future. Eventually, I had a majority of the things I wanted to get done before committing to the war, and so I accepted Germany's pleas for support by joining the Axis. Yugoslavia, mainland France, and northern Greece went down relatively easy, with France actually doing an invasion counterattack. I didn't think it would get too far, and so I started messing with the tank customization for a bit and learning how that was, because remember, this is my first game with those two DLCs installed, so there's definitely a lot of learning on both ends. After finishing up the tanks, I realized I completely forgot about the Ethiopian defenses, and so France took a decent majority. However, I cheekily established the Italian East Africa, which coincidentally removed that territory and uh, prevented them from being attacked since I didn't call them into war. Due to my poor army management, the northern counterattack could have encircled my army, however the AI didn't push too hard, and so I recovered eventually. And then Germany again declared on another nation, which was National Spain to my surprise, and so I tried to avoid the call to arms so that I didn't have to fight two fronts. And then they also decided that they could take on what would become Russia as well. So, love you, Germany. Here I started having some difficulties in northern Africa as Russia started to come into France's aid, and due to supply issues, I could never really get any real momentum going. And then whoop-de-doo, the Mexican junta joined the Axis and declared on the United States, so I was not very pleased to see that. And mainland France eventually capitulated, and so I joined the war against National Spain. However, I was disappointed as we could have had them as an ally. It would have made it a lot easier for us, but Germany had their own plans, I guess. Eventually, I started the process of getting an army to aid East Africa, as again it was being taken over by France because I had accidentally clicked an acceptance to the call to arms because they wanted to join the war, and I accidentally clicked yes. So there I had to go fight in Ethiopia again. So, um, but other than that, the Romanian borders were going, or the Romanian fight was going pretty well. And I was pleased with the progress, and back over at the Spanish borders, everything was going along nicely. But again, we could have just avoided the whole Spanish conquest. Germany! Around this time, I was really going into a gun deficit, which would have followed, or which followed me through the rest of the playthrough and caused problems in my army because they weren't able to fight as effectively. But eventually, Spain capitulated, which allowed me to try and aid the North African conquest by naval invading at the northern tip to try and alleviate some pressure on the right half and try and get a counterattack going. Now, a major blow happened to me in Africa. Seeing as my divisions couldn't make any progress, I tried to get them to retreat to make defending easier, and in the process, half of the army got surrounded and slaughtered. But on the plus side, the African naval invasion was successful, and so this would hopefully lead to Africa falling under my control. Keyword, hopefully. this whole time Greece just would not fall, and so it was really eating up my army. But I kept trying to invade this other end, but it just kept getting repelled. And Germany, being Germany, decides to fight Hungary and Poland. And so I had to divert some of my Romanian forces to deal with Hungary, but that allowing the Polish to have a connection with Russia really screwed us over and led to Russia, oh, I don't know, pushing hard into Germany. Romania finally collapses, which helped freed up an army to help defend Germany. And for some reason, Germany thought it was a good idea to naval invade Russia instead of defending their borders. And needless to say, while the invasion was successful at first, it failed and cost them some divisions. My biggest opponent by far was Germany and their decision-making capabilities. We in Japan could only do so much to hold the front lines. Germany just couldn't defend their borders and ended up not defending their Romanian section, which led to a big counterattack that would be a major dagger leading into my surrender, or rather, my eventual giving up. Failures in Africa, Greece, and my lines being thinned out because of Germany all contributed to my surrendering as well. Things I wish I had focused more on was my Air Force industry and my Army organization. And I had more air superiority, bombing, and CAS. I feel like my armies could have been faster and deadlier. My industry also just couldn't provide the guns nor the planes I needed, which prevented the growth of my army. Because, as you probably saw, I have a lot of manpower, but I didn't have any guns to help get more men out there. Um, I should have had the supply to keep up, and I could have aided more in defending Germany from the counterattack, but I was kind of busy fighting Romania and Czechoslovakia and France. But, and like I was talking about, my army's organization, I really should have started using like separate theaters so at the bottom of my screen wasn't a mess and I could more accurately pinpoint specific army and be faster about things instead of having to click, where are you guys? Click, where are you guys? And try and figure it out that way. When there's a nice theater button that helps do that for you, you know? Thank you for watching, and please let me know how I did both game-wise and presentation-wise. What did you like, and what didn't you like? Please let me know in the comments so that I can get better, and so that you can watch something more enjoyable. As you can probably guess, I am in the process of getting sick, and so my voice wasn't at its best, so I do sincerely apologize. I just wanted to get a video out so that I could get some feedback, and to see if this would be a hobby worth pursuing. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.